Attention passionate Pittsburgh Steelers fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the AFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Pittsburgh Steelers' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Pittsburgh Steelers fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your friends and Pittsburgh Steelers fans. Let's get to the news. The NFL landscape is buzzing right now, and the Steelers are right at the heart of one of the most intriguing and potentially game-changing rumors of the offseason. Word is circulating that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are considering trading Antoine Winfield Jr., one of their most versatile and impactful defensive players, to Pittsburgh. This isn't just any rumor. It's coming from Diana Rossini, a trusted insider, who reports whisperings that the Bucs, currently sitting at a disappointing 4-5 in 2025, are feeling the heat with an $9 million cap crunch and a roster that's desperate for some fresh energy and rebuild focus. The Bucs are in a tricky spot. After a season where their defense has struggled to maintain consistency, especially with injuries and a sagging pass defense, Tampa Bay finds itself needing to make some bold moves before the trade deadline on November 4th. The idea is that they might ship out Winfield Jr., a key piece of their secondary, in exchange for a second-round pick in the 2026 draft. The reasoning: the Bucs are prioritizing a rebuild on the defensive line, especially after losing some of their pass rushers to injury. They're trying to shore up their front seven, and part of that process seems to be shedding some cap space and assets to bring in future picks and younger talent. Now this move, if it materializes, could have huge implications, not just for Tampa Bay but also for the Steelers. Winfield Jr. has been a standout in 2025, rapidly establishing himself as one of the league's most explosive and reliable safeties. He's a player who can do it all: cover tight ends, play in the slot, come up to stop the run, and make game-changing plays. Through 9 games, he's already racked up 62 tackles, snagged 3 interceptions, forced 2 fumbles, and earned an impressive 88.5 PFF grade. That's elite production, especially considering his versatility. His EPA per pass coverage is 32, showing he's not just around the ball but actively making plays to disrupt offenses. Looking at his career, Winfield Jr. has accumulated 350 tackles, 12 interceptions, and 7 sacks, showcasing a rare blend of coverage ability and run support. He's a true ball hawk, having been targeted 15 times in 2024 and deflecting a similar number of passes, 15 PDs in the last season alone. His explosiveness in the slot, combined with a PFF run defense grade of 91.0, draws comparisons to Troy Polamalu, one of the greatest safeties of all time. That kind of player could instantly upgrade the Steelers' secondary, which has been battered by injuries this season, especially with Minkah Fitzpatrick off to a strong start but needing help in coverage. The Steelers' secondary has taken a hit this season, with both Levi Wallace and Killebrew on IR, leaving them vulnerable against the pass, allowing roughly 220 yards per game through the air. Adding Winfield Jr. into that mix could be transformative. Not only would he provide a much-needed spark to their secondary, but his presence could also allow Minkah Fitzpatrick to roam more freely, focusing on deep coverage and making plays in the back end. Statistically, an addition like Winfield Jr. could mean an extra 5 interceptions over the course of the season, a 15% reduction in EPA per pass, and a significant jump in tackles per game, going from around 45 to close to 58. That would give the Steelers a more aggressive and adaptable defense. For the Steelers, this move isn't just about plugging a hole. It's about elevating their entire defensive scheme. Pittsburgh's defense has always been their hallmark, especially under Mike Tomlin, but injuries and some inconsistency have hindered their ability to dominate. With Winfield Jr., they could reinforce a zone scheme that's been solid but needs that extra edge to truly threaten offenses. His ability to cover in the slot and play in deep zones aligns perfectly with what Pittsburgh wants to do, and it would allow Minkah to focus on the deep roles where he's most dangerous. The improvements in run defense would also be noticeable, with the allowed yards per carry dropping from 3.9 to around 3.4 or even lower, making it tougher for opponents to establish their ground game. Looking at the bigger picture, the trade could also dramatically shift the Steelers' Super Bowl odds. Right now, the Steelers are considered long shots, around plus 8-0 compared to the top contenders, but if they land Winfield Jr. and he performs as expected, those odds could shorten significantly, perhaps to plus 4-0. His presence as a playoff X-factor is real. He's capable of turning the tide in close games, especially in the red zone where his EPA of -0.4 makes him a nightmare for quarterbacks. Imagine him shadowing top receivers, disrupting timing routes, and creating turnovers at critical moments. That kind of impact could elevate Pittsburgh's chances against even the league's best QBs like Josh Allen, who has been known to throw picks under pressure. Now, let's not forget the context of Tampa's side of this story. The Buccaneers are in a rebuild, trying to find their footing after a disappointing season, and they need cap space for extensions, like trying to keep Mike Evans, who's earning around $20 million a year, and to address their offensive line, which is allowing 2.8 sacks per game. Their secondary, already allowing 212 passing yards per game, could use a shakeup, but some critics are skeptical about whether trading Winfield Jr. makes sense in the long run. It's a gamble. Diluting an already vulnerable secondary might hurt more than it helps in the short term, especially when they're trying to stay competitive in a volatile NFC South, where teams are swapping wins and losses at a dizzying rate. For the Steelers, this potential acquisition comes at a perfect time. They're looking to solidify their defense and build a roster capable of making a serious Super Bowl push. With Minkah Fitzpatrick, T.J. Watt, and a now potentially reinvigorated secondary, they could have a top-tier defense that's not just good but elite. The addition of Winfield Jr. wouldn't just be a rental, it could be a cornerstone for their secondary for years to come. His play style, which combines explosiveness, ball-hawking instincts, and strong coverage skills, fits perfectly into Pittsburgh's defensive identity. It's a move that screams playoff caliber, and if it happens, it could be the catalyst for the Steelers making a deep run in the postseason. In terms of the division, this trade could shake things up considerably. The AFC North has been competitive, but with the Bucs potentially losing their key defensive piece, they might struggle more in the second half of the season, especially against strong divisional rivals. Meanwhile, the Steelers, bolstered by a defensive upgrade, could leapfrog some teams and position themselves better for a playoff run. It's all about timing and execution, but if this move comes to fruition, it's a clear signal that Pittsburgh is serious about contending again and that they're willing to make bold moves to stay on top. Of course, this is all speculation for now, but the impact of acquiring a player like Antoine Winfield Jr. would be profound, not just because of his stats and on-field skills, but because it's a statement of intent. The Steelers have historically been aggressive when it comes to building championship-caliber teams, and this kind of trade would fit right into that tradition. Whether it ultimately happens or not, it's exciting to think about what kind of difference a player of Winfield Jr.'s caliber could make for the Steelers, especially as they chase another Super Bowl appearance. So, Steelers fans, keep your eyes on this story. It's one of those moves that could define the trajectory of this season and beyond. The potential to add a player like Winfield Jr. to a defense that's already got the makings of a top-tier unit is tantalizing. Imagine the plays, the turnovers, the shutdowns. This is the kind of boost that could propel the Steelers into serious Super Bowl contention. Whether you're dreaming of another Lombardi or just excited about the future of this team, stay tuned because things are heating up, and the Steelers are right in the middle of it. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YOUTUBE algorithm to keep recommending the latest Pittsburgh Steelers news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. And now, Pittsburgh Steelers fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this potential move? Do you think acquiring Winfield Jr. would make the Steelers a true Super Bowl contender? Or are you cautious about giving up a future draft pick for a player who's currently in the middle of his prime? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Steelers. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Pittsburgh Steelers news. This is an exciting time for Steelers Nation, and we're all in this together, rooting for our team and dreaming of another championship run. Keep the faith, stay loud, and let's see how this story unfolds. Because in Steelers Nation, the passion never dies, and every move is a step closer to greatness.